Welcome back to Sunday Morning Praise with your favorite church girl, the one, the only, Kayla J. Right here on WURD Progressive Black Talk Media. Listen, family. I am so excited to have my next guest here with me on WURD. I call her my sister friend, but she is a recording artist, a multimedia host. She is also a life coach, the creator of Say Something Good. And guess what, y'all? She got a new book out, which means she is an author. She is multi-talented, multifaceted, and just all amazing, wonderful woman. Please help me welcome Lavonne Nichols. Good morning, sis. Happy Sunday.
Good morning, my sister. My sister, I'm so happy to be here on your show. You are doing your thing, and so I'm so happy to be able to share today. Thank you so much for having me.
Listen, I'm so excited to have you. I love when my worlds can just collide and crash in together a little bit.
Yeah.
Because like I said in the introduction, you are just an all amazing around amazing person. I ain't even say that she sang praise and worship, y'all. She's a songstress, songbird, whatever y'all want to call it. Like she is just so dope. And I count it an honor and a privilege to have you on the show. Because I'm like, man, maybe my ratings will go up.
Well, listen, I can't tell you how proud I am of you and just what you're doing. So, I love when our worlds collide, and especially with someone that I care so deeply for. So,
Oh, thank you so much. Well, listen, I brought Lavonne on the show today to talk about her new book, Uncaged. So, Lavonne, please share with the people a little bit just about your book, Uncaged, and the process behind it.
hmm. Sure. So, Uncaged really is um, my letter to others who have gone through a similar situation. And the book is really about helping individuals break free from toxic relationships, really discover their voice and regain their power. And so the importance is really focusing on healing, growth, empowerment, and creativity as well, because I am a singer. And so I tap into my creativity as much as possible, and I do that in this book as well. What really inspired this book, the motivation behind this book, really was because I went through a 3-year toxic relationship, and from that toxic relationship, I really had to regain everything that I had before. I was such a active individual, had my own business, was working professional, had my house, car, doing all the things that we know to do, educate and all these things. But I found myself in a 3-year toxic relationship that really rocked my world. And that's really what trauma is. Trauma is something that rocks your world, and you have to kind of get yourself back on track. And so during that time of rediscovering myself, rediscovering who I am, the gifts that God had given me, my purpose, and all of those things, I went on this journey of healing. And I truly, truly believe that God gave me a step by step plan on how to heal. And I also believe that my healing was expedited because I had these tools and I followed them. God gave these things to me, and I said, okay, now I have to do this, and now I have to do this. And it was just uh, so strategic. And at that time, I didn't know that it was a book. I didn't realize that that's what it was until the end. But once I got to a place of healing and feeling like I was back to myself and even better and even stronger, then that's when I said, you know what? I need to share this with other people. I would like other people to not go through what I went through, but if they are in that situation, they find themselves in that situation, that they are able to have something to guide them, and hopefully that their healing process doesn't take years and years and years and years. Instead of that, they're able to move forward and actually, get back to themselves and even better.
That's just amazing. Thank you for being so vulnerable, right? I love when people are really open and honest, not just the
Mhm.
conversations, but through
Right.
your book, because I personally believe the Bible when it says we overcome by the blood of the lamb and the word of our testimonies. You sharing how you got through your toxic relationship is definitely going to help you overcome and be healed and help somebody else. So I want to say I appreciate you for being just that open and honest about your life.
Thank you.
How'd you come up with the name Uncaged?
Uncaged. So it's kind of full circle type of thing. So I've done radio and I sing, and so the songbird of South Jersey, the songbird has always kind of followed me throughout my life. And so I have that on certain things. I think my first Twitter was like songbird music, so it's kind of stayed with me. And so being a songbird, you think about singing freely. But during that time, I really felt like I was a songbird in a cage. And I felt like, people could see me. You could see through the bars. You could see me smiling, being, myself on the outside. But they had no idea that there was like an invisible cage that I was in. And a lot of that was condemnation, as a Christian, beating myself up about the situation that I was in. Some of that was the person that I was in a relationship with, feeling like I can't get out. And so that's where, feeling caged came from. But I want people to be uncaged. I want them to be free. So that's where Uncaged came from.
That's a good name. Yeah. Come on out that cage. Lavonne, come on out the cage. Fly
Absolutely.
around. Spread your wings.
Yes, yes. And it's very important for me to say that, as a leader, whether in your church, your family, your community, a lot of times we put on these masks because we can't let people really know what's happening. We have this, stigma in our communities that what stays in the house, what happens in the house, you stays in the house, and you don't tell nobody about what's going on. And so that was the other part of being, the barriers that I faced was really like being vulnerable and telling people. And as a worship leader, I'm a very vulnerable person. I put it out there. I don't mind crying. I don't mind telling my business because I know that it's bigger than me. And I know that I have to get the message of Christ out there. I have to get the good news out there. But during that time, let me tell you, like I was really struggling with, if I tell people I'm going through this, are they going to think less of me? It doesn't make me less of a Christian, less of a leader. And this book is also about taking those masks off and really being honest and real, because there's other people going through similar things, but because we're not talking about them, other people are staying caged, they're staying in bondage, and there's help and resources. And if you believe that God empowers other people, you will know that there's therapists, there are people writing books, there are people singing music that can help you. But if you don't put it out there and let people know you need help, sometimes you don't get the help. So that was also important for me to share.
No, I like that. I like that because, like you said, it's something that we as Christians and in the church houses we don't talk about it. We don't talk about when people feel down. We just if somebody is having a trouble, they gotta bless, gotta heal, gotta deliver, and He will. But can we
Right.
also talk about what do I do in this moment while I'm waiting for my healing, while I'm waiting for my deliverance?
Right.
It's
Yeah.
it's it's crazy. So that's really good. Who is the book for? Right? Is it for women? Because I know you like to help women. Is it for everybody? Is it for a particular age group?
Oh, thank you for asking that question. And I have gotten that question. So I wrote the book where it's not just geared to women, although I am a women's empowerment and trauma recovery coach. And a lot of my things might, kind of cater or connect with women because I'm a woman. And so I know, how we think. But I do think that anybody could pick up this book. A male could pick up this book who has been through a traumatic experience and find resources. It's not like, hey, sister girl, that's not the way, I really wrote this book. It's more so for the person who has been through a traumatic experience, specifically toxic relationships, bad relationships, even familiar family relationships. You can find resources that just help you move forward. And that's, as a life coach, that's always what I want to do: propel people to move forward, get people from A to B, and then they can get from B to C, and all those other things. It's also for someone who is seeing someone in their life, because I do believe in sharing. resources with other people, so you might not have had a toxic relationship, and amen to that. If you've never experienced a toxic relationship, whether it be a romantic or a family member or a friendship, I'm so happy that you haven't. But if you know someone who is struggling to move away from that, or either get out or move on once they're out, I encourage people to share this message. So I have in the beginning of the book where you can have a to and from, so you can gift this to somebody else that is really having a hard time, and really show your support for them, because sometimes you don't know what to say. And that was something I found. People didn't know. They might have sensed that something was wrong with me during those 3 years, but they didn't know what to say. They didn't know how, if I was going to receive it or not. So this is also a tool to reach out to someone that you care about.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. That's going to be a big help for a lot of people's friendships. I can see that. So one more question before I let you go. What do you want people to get out of the book? Do you just want them to get uncaged? Do you want them to share their story with other people? What is it that you really want people to get?
I want people to feel a sense of hope, because that was something that I struggled with. Like, can I get out of this? Can I live a fulfilling life after this? And so, really feeling empowered, feeling like they have some tools that will get them to the next level. There is chapters that talk about, refinding your purpose, reconnecting with, who you are and what really makes you happy. Because when you're in a toxic relationship, sometimes you lose who you are. And so it's kind of taking you all the way back. And I would like people to really, know who they are, walk securely, knowing that, they have God on their side, and they have this resource that can support them. And I would also love for people to tap into the power of music. You don't have to be a musician. And you smiling because there's power in music. And I think that, being able to use that also as, self-care, as motivation, is also something I want people to be able to do. Tap in. We might get some songwriters and some, people who really go further with it, but you don't need to, be a musician or a singer or have any, musical expertise to understand that music has power and how they can use that along their healing process. So that's what I would love.
That's right. That's right. Music definitely has healing properties in it.
Yes.
So does this book. So make sure you go get it. Let, let people know how they can purchase your book and support you.
Yes. Also, I would love for you to go to uncagedthebook.com. That will take you right there. You'll be able to purchase the book there. You can also go on Amazon and Barnes and Nobles. It is on their website as well. You can purchase it. And I want you guys to stay tuned, because I am a singer. And so I wrote a song that will be coming out very soon to go along with the book and just add more, motivation and something else that you can share with people.
Awesome. Lavonne Nichols, everybody. Please let people know how they can just follow you in general to see all the amazingness that you do.
Awesome. So I am big on social media, specifically Instagram and Facebook. And so you can follow me. It's Lavonne Nichols on those platforms. And I also have a website that talks about my services and my business, and that's saysomethinggoodllc.com.
Awesome. Lavonne, thank you so much for joining me here on Sunday Morning Praise. I appreciate you. Keep doing amazing things, and just the best of luck to you with the rest of all of your future endeavors.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be on Sunday Morning Praise with Kayla J. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. All right, folks, go buy the book. Make sure you follow her. We gotta get back to the music. You're listening to Sunday Morning Praise with Kayla J right here on WURD Progressive